You know, the voter exhibition enters day 2 today with reports of low patronage and calls on the IGP to stop his men from preventing some NDC agents from observing the process. And we will speak to someone from the EC on this and other issues. But first, let's take that report from Contingency, who visited some exhibition centers in Accra yesterday. And at the time, he reported that just a handful of people had come out to check their details. Let's take a look, and then we'll come back to the studio for that conversation.
Well, this has been the scene at the various EC exhibition centers that we visited. Barely no voter inside to check whether their details are correct. We spoke to some of the EC officials, and this is what they said.
Oh, just only 2 people.
2? Since what time?
Yeah, around 7. One came early in the morning, 7:20, and then the other one came almost 8 o'clock. It was 7:50 something. It's always okay. Previous years, the people, they don't care because they think their names are already in the register, so they don't have to come and waste their time here. So just few people will come, and then that's happened every year.
The people that came here today, did they have any issues with any of their details?
Oh no, please. Everything was intact. Yeah, everything was okay. But one man and then one woman. But the woman didn't bring card. But once she mentioned the surname, we were able to check.
As of now, we have about 10 people, since we started.
10, all from the same center, or is spread across?
Spread across.
Okay.
Since today being the first day, it's been a bit of slow start, but we're hoping to pick up.
Now, the 10 people that came, did they have any issues with any of their details?
No problem. Yeah, looking at the time, we have enough room, so we are hoping to get more people by the end of the day.
Well, with the registration exercise lasting for a period of 8 days, it is the hope that as the day goes by, more people will come and check if their details are well captured into EC's database before we head to election 2024. From the Roman Rage Exhibition Center, Kenneth Jesse for Joy News.
In the studio with me this morning is Dr. Serebour Quaicoe, the Director for Training at the Electoral Commission. Doc, good morning and welcome to the program.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. I know you've been here recently, but I must ask, how has it been? A little over a month in your new role as the head of training department for the commission. How has it been?
The grace has always been there.
Yeah?
God doesn't make mistakes.
God doesn't make mistakes. I like that. So let's start the conversation with, you just saw the report on low patronage, or the number of people turning out to verify their details ahead of election 2024. What do you make of it?
Good morning to your listeners. And I would say that has been the nature of exhibition. In the last time we had, it was 12% voter turnout.
Right.
But it seems people do not appreciate the essence of the exhibition. And one, we say that you need to go and check on your name, because where you check on your name is where you vote. Most often than not, or more often than not, you see people moving from one center to another during their voting day. It means that they did not go to the center when the voter was exhibited. So, especially now that we did the limited registration at the district offices, and we did a mop-up at Electoral and district offices, you might have mentioned that you wanted to be at Joy News, but maybe the people heard Joy FM. So if you don't go and check, on the day of voting, you will go to Joy News, but your name will be on Joy FM. So it's when you go that you request for the move change. So your name will be moved to Joy News as you requested. The other side is that your name may be wrongly spelled. It doesn't affect your opportunity to vote. But where it demands that you have to provide documents that may include the voter's register, the voter ID card.
Right.
What do you mean is that maybe your passport has different spelling from what the voter ID card is. And there have been a lot of instances where people go to the embassies and they'll be referred to go and come with this thing. And it means they didn't take advantage of the exhibition. Also, we are all aware that since 2020, a lot of people have been called to
Yeah.
Sorry.
New registered voters.
Yeah, no, I'm talking of those who have passed on.
Okay.
Yes. The register is for the living, not for the dead. So if you have any relation or you know somebody who has passed on, the onus is on you to inform the Electoral Commission so that we purge the register of ghost names. Because all the dead people don't vote. So if they're in the register, they rather scale down the voter turnout.
Right.
Yes.
You said this is normal because as at last election year was just 12%.
Yes.
Is it that, and you also said that people don't appreciate this exercise.
Exactly so.
Do you think that the communication of the significance of this exercise has been communicated to the voting population enough that they can appreciate it?
It's not that they don't know, but they are thinking that their names. The issue is that when it comes to voting, no, if once your name is on it, whether there's an error or whatever, we will allow you to vote. Even when you don't have a voter ID card, but your name is on it, we will allow you to vote. But I'm talking of, apart from voting, the card may be needed for other issues.
Right.
So in that case, because I've seen somebody's ID card, the person was a male, but it was female.
Okay.
So imagine you are taking that one to the American embassy. What do you think will happen? And in terms of your age, there are a lot of issues.
But those inconsistencies don't affect your right to vote?
Not at all.
Okay.
As for voting, whether my name is given to you, Serebour Quaicoe, and you go there, everybody knows that Serebour Quaicoe is a male. You still be allowed to vote as long as biometrically you are verified. So voting, it will not have any effect. But where the card is needed for other official documentation, that's where you have the challenges. So now you don't lose anything by passing by. It's an 8-day activity. You pass by, you go and check, everything is correct, then you're free. It's also possible that for some reasons you registered, even you voted in 2020, but your name may not be in the register because of some reasons. You go there, the name will be included. So exhibition is so important that there are people whose name have been captured on the multiple list, meaning that the system says they have registered for more than once. The law also allows you to go and object to your name being on the multiple list. Then you go to the process to explain why it happened at then, and the district station officer, who is a magistrate, can look at it and say, okay, you should be pardoned. Okay. So your name will be brought back onto the register.
Okay.
I'm aware that somebody, the children of a parent, I don't want to mention the town,
that's fine,
succeeded in getting death certificate. Everything went to Senate. They almost succeeded in declaring their father dead so that they can take the benefits.
Wow.
But unfortunately for their children, when I think the check was almost ready, then a friend of the father, they were all teachers, got this, oh, I just saw this man this morning, so it's not true.
Wow.
You get it?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
in such a case, somebody can go and declare you disease when you are still alive.
Okay.
So a lot of things can happen. So go and check and validate your records on the register.
Are you concerned? Is the EC concerned about the turnout then? Are you concerned that last election year was just 12%? And
why not? Because we need people to patronize it so that all anomalies, all errors could be corrected. Because we want to have a clean register. For example, if about 10 people in the particular register who have passed on, you know the implication. It means that if you vote, as for the 10%, that will affect the percentage turnout. Even though the people who are dead, so the more the register is accurate, the more all your figures will be accurate.
How are we escalating, or how are we trying to fix this then?
One of it is the reason why you have got me here.
Okay.
Two, we have out of officers and have a lot of videos. They are moving to churches, markets, and the mosque, and they're doing a lot of education. This time we want to be so sure that we clean the register for proper accountability.
Do you think that what we are seeing now is a reflection of the people's attitude towards this election?
That means that it has been the
trend.
The trend.
All right.
So it's not only for this year.
Okay. And we tried to use the short code for the electronic verification.
Yeah,
and there are some inconsistencies. But first, let's take that report on the demonstration, and then I'll come back to you with follow-up questions. Let's go for that report on the demonstration we did, trying to
*711 *51 hash. Then you press the call. And you're waiting, and it says here that welcome to the mobile voter register exhibition service. Enter your 10-digit voter ID number. So I've already copied it and I'm just pasting it here. And it says here, hello Yeboah, you'll be charged 0.50 pesos to receive your voter verification details. So then I press 1 to confirm. Then wait, it says here, after payment confirmation, your voter ID details will be sent via SMS. Okay, and that was really fast. And I put in my Momo details. So now I'm waiting for the deduction message, which I still haven't gotten. It's now 10:25 a.m. I'm waiting on the message. 2 minutes, 3 minutes later, I still haven't even received a message of the deduction or even a message from the EC to make sure that my details in there are accurate.
You don't have to accept things like this because you cost your program. The EC is mandated under law to cost its activities and bring same to Parliament for approval. They have just done that. So we are asking for accountability.
That they should come and account for it, or they should stop the charge.
If they want to proceed with it, then they have to come and account for it. Because Parliament cannot give you money to do this and you turn back and charge the people. I am saying that doing this amounts to charging money before persons are permitted to look at their names in the register. That is not acceptable. That is not the legal structure in place.
So let's discuss this. I will come to the issue about the 50 pesos, but first, what explains the inconsistencies in the responses you get? I remember, I think our head of health desk also tried it, and he said he got a message from some Hussein Al-Haji something. What's happening there?
A very prominent media person yesterday sent me a message. One friend, I will show you to you. So instead of 711, she made it 771.
Okay.
Then I saw the feedback that they cannot. Okay, so some of the challenges are because, and I also remember somebody made it 711 *71 instead of 51.
Okay.
Yes,
but we got it right.
This is the first time I'm saying this.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. And this happened.
You yourself can try it now.
Yes, but she tried it in the morning, and she tried again.
Oh.
She tried again, and so one CD has gone. And as we speak, last night I called her around 9 p.m. just to confirm if she's got any response yet, and she still hasn't got any response.
Maybe that could be a network issue, because it cut across all the networks. So that one is the only network that people that can explain. But this is the first time that I'm hearing this. Okay.
So Parliament has approved the budget for electoral processes for December 2024. Yes. Can you confirm how much has been approved?
I don't have the figures.
Not 786.
I don't have.
You don't have the figures. That's fine. So what is this 50 pesos for?
It's for the service charges. It's for the service providers, not for the Electoral Commission. It's 50 pesos. A peso doesn't come to the Electoral Commission. It's for the service charges. And in 2016, it was the same. 2020 is the same, and 2024 is the same.
Are you saying that this has been done in previous election
2016,
years?
2020, 2024, yes. Service charge, you can contact the service providers.
But
it's for service charges, not for the Electoral Commission.
Okay. Dr. Mekwa is asking you to come and account for it.
If we were to be coming to the Electoral Commission, then that is our money that we should account for. But for the service charges, so if you use MTN, the money goes to MTN. If you use TRSL, it goes to a TRSL.
And that has not been catered for in the budgets that was approved for electoral processes.
If you're talking budget, the money is coming to Electoral Commission.
No, but this is part of your electoral activities. This is a way of verifying.
Ours is that go to the polling station to go and check on your name.
Okay.
Then the providers is okay. We can also make the service available to people who cannot go. So if you cannot go, then you are using the service provider facility to check on the name. And that's the charge you pay for using their services.
So, your mandate is to ensure that citizens, the voting population, verify their details ahead
by
of
going to
the polls.
Correct.
You've also provided the polling station.
Correct.
You've also provided an alternative to check electronically.
Yes. If you cannot,
however,
you cannot, the service provider say that they can check through their system to get it, and they will charge you for using their service.
Who's spearheading this? You, the EC, or the telcos?
It's a collaboration between the two of us.
Okay.
So we have to provide them with the data before they can do the checking for you. But I'm saying that not a damn comes to the Electoral Commission. So when you check, the 50 pesos you pay, it goes to the service provider. If you are using your phone calls and you know you pay.
Yes.
That is the same thing. If you should send text messages, you pay, right? It's for them. So it goes to the service providers. Electoral Commission doesn't benefit from that, man.
So then
but it is facilitating the work for us.
Great. So the question is, this isn't the first time you're doing it, and you're saying that the money doesn't come to the EC.
Exactly so.
How come you didn't budget for this then? Because it's part of your work that you're doing that you've already asked that the government pay for it.
We budgeted for people who will go to the centers to check on their names, right? Mm-hmm. That is what is in the law. Right? But alternatively, if you want to sit in the comfort of your house and check on it, then you go to the service provider for them to help you. But even there, when you go there and there's a challenge, you still have to go to the exhibition center before you can change or correct any anomaly.
So minority is saying you should drop these charges.
That's what I'm saying, that we are not charging.
So you are not going to drop?
If I'm not charging you, how can I drop it?
Okay.
And then, like I said, you can go, you are supposed to go to the exhibition center to go and check on your name, right? So if you don't want to pay, you go to the exhibition center and check on your name. But if you use the USSD code, you will still have to go to the exhibition center when you have a problem.
Now, there's a claim by some party agents that they're not being allowed to access some stations to observe this exercise. The NDC in particular have raised concerns about that. First, are you aware of it, and what's your response to it?
I'm not aware, but at the APAC meeting and the meeting with the media and the rest, we said that the parties have the right to go and observe, because it adds to the transparency of the system. It's only when you go there and you are creating the problem that you ask the party to replace you. So the Commission has given the political parties the right to be represented at the exhibition centers.
So you're not aware that the NDC is making these claims at all, that some police personnel are preventing them from
if we were to be informed about the place, then we can inform the police that this is happening at this center, so we should allow them. But at the press conference, it was made clear to the political parties. Okay,
let's do some public education then. If you're going to verify your details at the polling station, what do you need?
When you are voting, polling station. When you are registering, registration center.
Registration.
When you are doing exhibition center.
Okay.
So now, the same location, but registration center when it's about registration, exhibition center when it's about exhibition, and polling station when it's about voting.
So what
you do is that you go there with your voter ID card. Mm-hmm. Then the arrangement of the name will help us to facilitate the process for you. Mm-hmm. Then you check on the name, your age and your sex, your polling station. If everything is ready, you take your card back, then it will take for you, then you are gone. Mm-hmm. But if you go there and there's an error on any of your details, then there's a form of correction. If it's about age, if it's about sex, if it's about the spelling of your name and the rest, that one also be corrected. It could even be the picture is so blurred that you want a better picture. You also check on that. Then if it's an issue about changes on your ID card, then you'll be given a form. We'll call it a form for request for change. Then you send it to the district office. Because in that case, you need to be biometrically verified. Rather than that, somebody who can go and change your details into his or hers. Yeah. So if it involves changing anything that was filled with your ID card, then you have to go to the district office, because that's where you can do the biometrics. For that to be sure that you are the one, then you can infer the change. Aside that, the other changes, would they be done instantly in your presence? Yes. No, on the register, the corrections will be affected there. But where it is going to affect your ID card, that's when you have to go back to. Mm-hmm. So that is it. If you don't have an ID card and you can remember your vote ID number, it also facilitates it. But you don't have your ID card, you don't have your voter ID number, it will mean that you have to be sure of the name that you use. There are some people with about 3 different names. They will mention one name for you, no, I think I use this name. You check. So that one delays the process. That's why we always recommend that if you are going, go with your voter ID card. But if you don't have it, we still go through our name references, which is arranged alphabetically, so that we can still do it for you. But remember that whenever there's the need for a change on anything on your ID card, In that case, you still have to go to the district office. But that's where you can have the biometrics before the changes are done.
You haven't mentioned Ghana card. Does it mean at this point it's completely, it doesn't work here? It doesn't
Ghana
apply
card
here at
only,
all?
it's only relevant when you are registering. If you register, Ghana card doesn't come in again, including voting, and the Ghana card doesn't come in.
Okay. So you just need your voter's ID, go to the verification exhibition centers, verify your details. If there are corrections, ensure that if it involves your ID card, you go to
the office
and they'll do that for you. We will open the phone lines in the course of the conversation. And I mean, if you're watching us and you have questions, it's a public education. You call in and you get to speak to us. But let's move on to some of the concerns that the two major political parties are raising. And yesterday we had the conversation or that in engagements between the EC and National Peace Council. And when you look at the National Peace Council and the NDC,
I thought
right?
Easy.
Slip of tongue, beg your pardon. And when you look at the demands the NDC is making, it's as a prerequisite to signing that peace pact. I mean, I can infer that they're just trying to avoid recidivism, repetition of crimes, and they want you to demonstrate your commitment to transparency or earning their trust, which is very crucial ahead of this election. First, what is your assessment or reflection on their demands? And then we go to what the Peace Council is also saying.
I will say that one of the good news to Ghanaians is that NDC boycotted the APAC meeting, but they have been back for more than a year or so now. So now every discussion that we have at the APAC meeting, they are there with us. So for now, I believe gradually we are bonding well. And whenever they have any issues, they bring it to the table. If it is doable, we let them know that we will do it. If it's not doable because of the law, they also let them that because of ABC, you cannot do it because the law doesn't provide for that. So I think now the relationship is improving. So
are their concerns not justified? I mean, I listened to the chairman yesterday, and he said he engaged some contractors to, offer some support services to the EC, and it didn't go through public procurement processes, and it was done on their blind side. Do you actually have these contractors? Have you contracted some people to assist you with election activities that the public is not aware of?
You see, when we have administrative work, if I'm being employed. When I was employed, the political parties were not informed. I was just interviewed, my appointment letter was given, and I signed. That is administrative issue. If the commission thinks that for this work we need maybe a consultant to support that, we work with the PPA, and all the processes are done, then the person is recruited. We don't inform the political party. It has never happened before.
So you have contractors or consultants,
yes.
And you inform the PPA.
You cannot employ them. You cannot employ them without going through the procurement processes. So if anybody has any issue, I think they can contact the procurement PPA and see whether we have done the wrong thing.
Are you saying the NDC in that particular regard has no case because they were not supposed to be informed in the first place?
Not at all. When we are doing administrative issues, we don't inform them, no.
But what are these contractors or consultants going to be doing for you, for the EC?
They were recruited because we think that they have skills that are not available in amongst us. So no matter, it has always been so. We have consultants for specific needs of the commission. They come and do it and they are gone.
And then there's the issue about the missing BVRs.
No BVR.
BVDs,
no
the biometric verification machine.
It's a laptop, not a BVR.
It's a laptop. Okay. So IT devices. Like the chairman said, that's okay. And he says that arrests have been made,
yes.
But they do not know. In fact, we do not know for sure where are the devices.
The case is at the courts.
Yes.
The laptop has been stolen, so we have not gotten it.
But you've apprehended the culprit.
Suspects.
Exactly. And they are unable to show you where these devices are?
They are suspects. So you something gets missing, you suspect somebody. I don't use myself because I will not come and steal your thing. So the best is the security services investigated it and they handed the case to the court and they were remanded. They have been going to court. I don't know the actual state of the case now, but the case is at the court.
Do you see how this can stir mistrust and unnecessary controversy in the build-up to December elections?
If anybody understands how the BVD and the BVR work, it will not create any problem. Because if you take the BVR, it's like the briefcase. You have the laptop in it, you have the fingerprint scanner in it, you have the camera in it, and you have the printer and other accessories. And the people took the laptop away. It means that once you take away the laptop, that system cannot operate unless the laptop is replaced. In the same vein, when you take the laptop away, it becomes laptop, no more the BVR. Now, if you take the whole system away, before you can use it, you need to be biometrically enrolled onto it, and you need that is through the UC system. 2, you need the activation code. So once in a while, you realize that even doing the registration, they will tell you that they are not able to activate the codes. So it is going to delay if you have been following registration and the rest. So all these things mean that we have put in place a lot of security measures, because once you are dealing with human beings, you don't expect that everything will be the way you want it. These things are bound to happen. But when you take the laptop, even if you take the whole BVR kit, you cannot use it unless you are biometrically enrolled onto it, and unless you are given activation code for you to log on onto the system.
And there's no important data on these laptops that could affect or tip the skills in any way?
If you have time, one of these, they come and I'll take you to the ITN for it. Immediately we finish the registration, if you look at the timetable, we have what we call end of date, or end of life. What it means is that even though we use this under the BV code, and there was a link, so as you register, they go into the database. When you finish, we still believe that it could be possible that maybe some data or what they could was not, so they will do end of life. So what the end of life do is that they will go through the process and check whether there are any document that has not been, and immediately you finish with the end of life, it becomes blank because the data is taken off. So once we finish the registration and we do the end of life means that the system is dead, so you can't use it.
And if you're watching us, you can call in and send your questions through. We have some time to get into that. So, Dr. Quaicoe, have you explained this to the various political parties, the NDC in particular? Have you demonstrated to them how the laptop works with and without the other machinery attached to it?
In 2020, I remember when we acquired a new kit, we did it at a Ridge Hospital, Ridge Church. All the political parties were there, we all went through, they were all registered to the process so that they would try whether they can do multiple registration. All those things were done. So they know, and at our ACPAC meeting since 2020, we have been demonstrating to them, so they know. So
what's different now? I mean, you were head of electoral services, although you are heading IT now. What is your assessment of why the NDC is insisting that there's something fishy going on?
Everything has its advantages and disadvantages. I'll look at the advantage side. It makes us sit up. That whatever you are doing, somebody doesn't trust you. So try as much as possible to be transparent, to be accountable, and to be professional. So that is the positive side. But the negative side is that if you become too many, it creates a lot of tension in the system. But sitting here, I speak on authority that those cases that have been taken away can never be used. Because if you want to use it, then you have to involve all our key people. So in that case, why would this, if I can use it to do something, why would I steal it? If I want to do something untoward or mischievous, why would I steal it? Because the system is with me.
Okay.
You get it?
Yeah.
So there's no way, and I believe that if anybody is able to trace that this case has been done, then people in the IT, all of them should be arrested. Yes, because if they have not given you the activation code, they have not enrolled you onto it biometrically, and it's not only one person that does that. So,
you used the word trust.
Yes.
So the first question is, do you intend to earn the trust of the political parties going into this December election, and not just for political parties, in fact, citizens, the voting population, do you intend to do all that you can to earn their trust? And if so, how do you make this issue go away?
We don't target any specific political party, but we try to be professional, accountable, and transparent. You are aware that when we are doing registration, the political parties are given access to the centers. So they are part of the registration. Everything that we do, they can challenge anybody who is not qualified. At the end of every day's activity, we give them the end of day report. The end of day report will already indicate that today we started registration at this time and end at this time. And these are the people who were registered with their biodata and their ID numbers. We give all these things to the political parties. So if you are doing, let's say, a 14-day activity, if they put the 14 reports together, they have gotten the register for that particular registration.
Okay.
Transparency. When we finish, and we have compiled the provisional register. We give them copies of the provisional register. We ask them to, and recently you heard that they said that we have
there was a delay.
But whatever
what was that? What happened there?
I will explain. But whatever be the case, we have given them. So they can use that to compare with the data that was given to them and the cost of registration. If they see any anomaly, they call our attention to that. Or they can even go to the SBC center to object to the name, that name is not known because they have the data.
Copy, yeah.
So all these things are the transparency. The next one is come to the exhibition that we are going to do. We are bringing the register back to you. You were part of the people who compiled the register. Now this is what we have brought. The information that we picked, we have processed them and brought them back to you. If you can identify any name that is not qualified, the law allows you to object to the name. And when you object, it is a magistrate who will sit on the case and adjudicate. It's not the Electoral Commission. Will sit on it and adjudicate. I forgot to say that even in the course of registration, if you suspected somebody to not qualify, you can also challenge the name. That when you challenge, we have what we call this registration review committee. The political parties reps are members of the committee. And the law says that in the course of their sitting, they have the same powers as the district court. Meaning that they can subpoena somebody to come and testify for or against whatever. So all these things are done. Then we do the nomination. That one, now we have uploaded our nomination forms onto the website. This time we are not giving you people so that you say that somebody didn't give you when the Electoral Commission did not give you, but it's on the website. We give you the code, go and pick it. Then you fill with all the needed documents, you submit it to our return officer. The return officer will take you through. If there are any corrections to be made, you do. If they are not and they accept it, then they will give you, if you fill quadruplicate of the forms, you will given a copy of the form that you have accepted because he will sign on it. That becomes your receipt that you are now a candidate. So in case we are publishing and you are not there, but I went through, you gave me this.
So are you saying that you've done all that you can do within your mandate, within your powers as you have it, and so you do not care that the NDC is insisting that...
If we do not care, we will not be holding apart meetings. We will continue to be engaging.
So the question is, how do you alleviate their pain?
Continue to be transparent as I was taking to you through the process, and also be engaging them so that they come with their concerns. That's when we let them know that this ABC could be done because the law allows that. E, N, F, and G cannot be done because the law doesn't allow that. Everything that we are doing is governed by law. So you cannot go outside the law. So we want to engage them. When it comes to printing of the ballot papers, we are with them at the printing houses. We print, we give them the serial numbers. So before the materials will go to the field, they know that for this particular region, serial number A to B are going there. And when we are conveying them, they escort us. So they are also with us. When we go, we hand over hours to our region.
Right.
They also hand over.
Okay.
So everything is transparent. And in the course of election, there is an open. It is done. Counting is done open. The creation is done open. We are giving copies. So we'll continue to be.
Okay. So the demands that the NDC is making, these 6 demands for the prosecution of perpetrators, I want to just get that. So the implementation of the Ayawaso West Wogon recommendations, the prosecution of 2020 election violence perpetrators, investigation into the missing IT equipment at the Electoral Commission, accountability for irregularities in ballot printing, and the President's public commitment, not just the President, public commitment to respect election outcome and inclusion of key security and justice officials in the Peace Pact. The National Peace Council says they're going to negotiate these demands. What is the challenge in implementing these demands that needs negotiation?
Which one affects the Electoral Commission? We can only speak.
Investigation into the missing IT.
In our case, that's what I said. We don't have the power, the skill to do the investigation. That's why we reported the case to the security services, and they've done that, and some people have been.
Right, but your outfit is also committed to free and fair elections.
That's why
and so if then, yes, absolutely, that's fine. But if the NDC, one of the major political parties and, opposition party, is saying that they do not want to sign a peace pact because of these reasons, ask the Electoral Commission, are you concerned at all that this is coming up? And the Peace Council is saying we want to renegotiate, but it doesn't look like they want these demands to be negotiated. They just want them to be met. Otherwise, they're not committing to signing the peace pact, which in fact, does not actually say that it will, stir up violence, but it takes something out of the peaceful and free, fair elections that we want to have in December.
I wouldn't want to be involved in the peace pact because Electoral Commission is not part of that. But as I said, and I will continue to say, it is our responsibility. The country has given us a responsibility, and we ensure that we will act professionally and conduct transparent, free and fair elections. That's the most important thing that we will do. So once we do that, then if anybody wants to challenge it, the court is there for them to. So our mandate and always our dream is that we should do the right thing, so that in case somebody tries to challenge the case, you go and read that you have been vindicated. And since 92, every election somebody will go to court.
True.
Yes, and that is the beauty of the democracy. If you don't understand it, resort to the court. We go to the court and there's something wrongly done to be rectified. So that's where my focus will be.
Let's pivot to the other political parties, the minority political parties. What is the arrangement for them?
Let's say other
political parties. Yes. They're not minority.
They don't want to hear small.
Yeah, they don't want to hear small or minority.
But so they were saying that they all pay the same deposit.
True. And if they are minority or smaller, then the fee should be reduced for them.
No, that's what I'm saying. We treat them as political parties.
Okay.
And the irony of it is that most often than not, NDC people will get their monies back. That is the other parties rather who will lose their money to the state.
That's
so
true.
they should be listening to, because they will rather will lose their money if they don't get the 25% for presidential and 12.5% for the parliamentary.
What's the arrangement for them?
The same procedure. We don't treat them separately.
Okay.
We treat, if it is payment, if it is meeting, whatever it is, we treat all political parties as political parties. We don't have, in our records, we don't have bigger or smaller party, no, or majority or minority party, no. All parties are the same, equality before the law.
Right. We knew that about 9 or 11 of political parties or independent candidates, 12
political parties.
Okay.
And the last time I checked, I think we had 19 people who have picked it was one thing picking the form, one thing filing. But the independent presidential candidate have, so that's when they were about 19.
19 independent presidential candidates.
Well, who have picked the form. Because when picking the form, you don't pay anything.
Yeah. If when you are going to file, that is when you pay something.
Yes. So some people pick, but they will not file.
Should we be capping the number of people who can pick up forms and contest as independent candidates?
Democracy is expensive. Democracy gives the right to everybody once the person qualifies. The Constitution says the person should be at least 40 years. He should be a taxpayer. Should be not be holding any allegiance to having allegiance to any country, blah blah blah. So once the person qualifies, I know you don't qualify because you can't be 40. But if you are 40,
I might surprise you.
No, you can't be at 40.
Right.
And I will be very, very surprised if you are not 40.
Yeah.
So if you are 40 and you can garner people to support you and the rest, why not? So we don't need.
The laws don't say anything about it, but should we be looking at it? Until one day we wake up and about 150
if you are going
people
to cap it,
want
are you not going to
file
give people
for
their right to contest? If you want to cap it,
maybe a strategy to streamline, more than being 40 and above, and if you can pay for the form and all that.
But that's what they have given a deposit. They are depositing for it.
Okay. Yeah. I'm asking if we should be reviewing these strategies.
Assuming you are to take the decision, how are you going to disqualify other people? How are you going to do that?
Okay.
Because if you want to hold the right of the people. The right to contest an election is also a right.
Okay.
So you don't put impediment on the person. Unless the person is not qualified because it's not 40 years, whatever, that's fine. But I don't think you can.
Okay. But we know, so now 19 people
I've witnessed an election with 72 candidates.
Okay. And it didn't spoil anything.
At all.
No problem. And we have over 600,000.
I'm not saying we should go there.
Well, if we are not capping them in and if we are practicing democracy and it allows it, then let's see how that goes. Over 600,000 new registered voters this year, 19 independent candidates picking forms not filed. Confirm for me the total number of registered voters as we speak.
I can't give the exact figures, but I know in 2020 there were about 70 million. I don't remember the addition, but it was less than 10,000, but at least 70 million. The other one was 910,000. That was 2023. Then the recent limited receipt was about 777,000. Yes, and the MOPA was about 92,000.
But you just gave a copy of the registered to the political parties. Isn't there a total?
No, but I don't handle such things.
Right.
So that's what I have idea about the figures. But some of these people would have been challenged. Some of them would have been put on the multiple list, and that's why I can't be specific about the figures. But
we do want to know. So maybe we contact you later.
I've given you the figures. You can calculate and get that idea.
Let's do it.
Yes, I said.
So 17 million from 2020.
Yes. Then 910,000.
910,000.
777,000.
777,000.
Then 92,000.
92,000.
But there are other figures here, so that will give an idea about it.
Just a second, let me do this quickly because I'm curious to know how many people are registered to vote. So 19 million.
It's 17 million, no?
17 million plus 9,100.
910,000.
910,000. Okay, my math is not good. Let's continue. So they're helping me in the back room to do that, and so they'll give us the figures.
But that is
so just to go over it, we have 17 million from 2020, 910,000. Yes, 77,000 plus 77,000 plus 9,200, 92,000.
But so these are provision.
Okay, these are. Remember that you can call in and ask your questions. The phone lines will be on your screens. So what is the preparations for election 2024 so far? So at this point, what are the next steps that we
we are finishing the exhibition on the 27th of this month. So I'm using your facility again to appeal to Ghanaians that they should not underrate the essence of the exhibition. They should go and check, verify their details and be sure that everything is intact. Then they can now sharpen their fingers for their thumb printing. After this, from 9th to 13th of September, we will now receive the nominations. So now they are downloading and filling.
9th to 13th of September, right.
Every one, they will submit them. The presidential one will submit them at the head office because the chairperson is the return officer. Then
please hold for me. The total number is what, 18 million? Oh, I thought you were giving me the figure. Okay. Please go on.
The presidential one will be submitted at the head office because the return officer is the chairperson of the commission. Then each constituency, we now have 276. It used to be 275 plus 1 into bracket SAR. So now 276, and each constituency will be receiving the form from their constituency candidates. So when that is done, then we'll move on to the balloting for positions.
Right.
You know that for transparency, after the filing of the nomination, we'll ballot for the position on the ballot paper. So that what happens is that you first do the balloting. The first balloting will determine who to pick first, who to pick second. Then do the second one based on who to pick first, and then you pick, and what you get now will be your position on the ballot paper. Transparency. We don't determine who should be number 1, who should be number 4, whatever. So that one to the parties. Previously, because we were not balloting, some people will be sleeping at our offices because they want to be first.
Yes.
All these things have been then I will.
So I'm told it's 18,079,000 registered voters. Provisional registered voters. 18,079,000 provisional registered voters.
Yes.
Okay.
So I want to emphasize the provisional. So that when the figures come and there are small variations, we are not taking on.
But it won't be more or less than this.
That's around it.
Okay.
Yes.
Right. Are there any challenges, budgetary challenges, monetary challenges that the EC
when we draw the budget, there are budgets for different activities. So when it is registration, the money will be given. When it is for exhibition, the money is given. So the monies are paid as and when they are demanded. To the best of my knowledge, we haven't had challenges.
Okay, so as we speak, you just got your money for the exhibition, and
I don't know whether we have requested for, so I can't say that. Once you request for, we will not know what that will be.
Okay.
Normally, we don't get into challenges with that.
We do have our first call on the line. Hello, good morning. Where are you calling from?
Kasua, I'm calling from Kasua.
Okay, so what's your question?
Yes, the position of the EC on the use of indelible ink. Because there are rumors and counter rumors that some people register double and triple. So I strongly believe that if you use indelible ink on one station, the person or the intruder will not or cannot vote again. So my question is, why the EC is not using indelible ink?
Thank you. I think you already said that you were not going to abolish the indelible ink, but please, you can reiterate that.
Yeah, so first, he made a statement that somebody might have registered more than once. The system says that the moment you register more than once, that's why we have the multiple list. The system will push you to the multiple list, and you are not active. So will not appear at all for you to go and vote for more than once. Once you have involved yourself in more than one registration. So that is the point. The second point is that the indelible ink, we were thinking that with the biometrics, once you are verified, nobody can use the same name again.
Yes.
That's why we wanted to abolish it. But people say that at IPAC meeting, some of them will say it's an evidence to show people that you saw permission, you have gone and voted. So we are allowing it to work. So we'll use the indelible ink for the 2024 elections.
Okay. The number has been updated. My back room they are very busy. They want us to get it right. 18,779,000 provisional total number of registered voters as we speak. 18,779,000 people. And so, I mean, the logistics, arrangements, money, and everything is in place. What about?
As I speak, we've trained our exhibition officers, and exhibition has started. When they finish, they will be paid.
Okay.
And we'll move on to the nomination.
How many?
Which was the nomination?
Yes. No, how many? You said you've trained your officers. Officers. How many officers?
Around 41,000 exhibition centers, and each one is manned by one person. And out of the 268 district offices, we have one supervisor for each of them and 2 assistants. So these are the numbers.
Okay, so 40.
It's about 41,000.
41,000.
Yes.
And issues about remuneration and payments for these officials.
You want to tell that how much they're going to pay?
You don't want to do that. You don't want to disclose how much.
I don't think you're happy to tell me your salary.
No, I won't tell you that.
So the same way.
Okay, but the arrangements on how to compensate them.
We pay them through the banks.
Okay.
Pay them through the banks.
And there are no issues there.
Once the accounts are correct, your money will hit your account when we release the money.
Okay. So about earning the trust of the political parties, you've spoken about that because you're being transparent with the processes so far. How about the citizenry? All these issues register as, controversies and mistrust, and whether it's party propaganda or not, we are hearing and reading these stories every day online. What is the plan to ensure that the citizens trust the credibility, the integrity of the Electoral Commission? And then please hold for me. Let's take that other caller and then we'll come back to that. Hello, tell us your name and what's on your mind.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, my name is Serebour Felix, calling from Zebila, Boku West.
Okay, what's on your mind?
Yeah, I want to find out as to whether the closing time, they have confirmed the closing time for the elections.
Have they?
It's still 5 o'clock as per the law.
So 7 to 5?
Exactly so.
So it starts at 7 a.m. and closes at 5 p.m. as per the law, like you said. Thank you so much for calling.
All right, thank you.
All right. How are you ensuring that the people trust in the credibility, integrity of the Electoral Commission?
One of it is what we are doing. Continue to explain that. And me, personally, my joy is that our system is so stakeholder involving that even when it comes to counting of the ballot papers, at the polling, if you observe, once you start, the public will be doing the counting for you. You say, well, and then it becomes a chorus. Everybody will count in. When you finish, we declare. Now, we have asked them to paste a copy of the results at the polling station. Then when you finish, they send them to the constituency centers where the coalition will done with involvement of the political parties. If the party, if done and the parties want to request for a real coalition to be done, one that is done, the forms, appropriate forms are filled. There too, they sign, they are given copies and we paste them. You go to the region, the same process. You go to the national, the same process. So everybody is involved, including you, the media. And you, at least I can cite the joy for 2020, 2016. That before the commission came out with the final result, you have already called the results. So you knew the winner before the commission came about. And that is the transparency aspect that we are talking. We are not hiding anything from you. That is why the media is able to have an idea about the possible winner of the election before. So, and it has never happened that what the media projected was different from what the commission projected. And the civil society organizations, the observers too, they also do their projection. Because they will do their projection and it's always the same. It has never changed. It has never changed. So that tells you that the system is so transparent and accountable.
What contingency plans does the EC have in case of unforeseen events such as extreme weather? You know, and sometimes the counting of ballots goes deep into the night. There could be power outages and all that. What provisions have you made to cater?
We also have lanterns for, do I call lantern, but light. It's a mobile light. We send them to the polling station for them to do that. Technically, because we have reduced the threshold for polling station to 750, if everybody were to be there, 750 would not take more than 3 hours. If you are to even start voting at, let's say, 10, and everybody were to be there by 1, we should have concluded. So going into the night, there are extreme cases, unless something happened, or some people intentionally go to the center. Some have.
But we've seen some before.
No, previously they were not using the same threshold.
Okay.
So if you look at the 2020, we didn't have that challenge, and we have maintained the same figure for 2024. So we are not expecting election to go deep in the night, unless some people go there late, maybe almost 5 o'clock. Then about 100 people rush there, then automatically. But if people are going there, so because and the speed and the efficiency of the BVD is said that you don't waste much time at the polling station. So if you check the 2020 elections, in between the people were not voting, but we had about 80% turnout because the system was so fast that you hardly see queues there, right? So that's exactly what we are going to repeat. So all things being equal, about 90% or more of them will finish before 7. Obviously, by 6 days to have been done.
That's all things being equal. But then how do you plan to communicate real-time information to the public on elections?
At the polling station, real-time, counted, delivered. For constituency, counted, collected, delivered. For the region, for the district. And this time, what Commission is planning to do is that for the constituency, regional and national collated result will be uploaded onto our website before even the final result is declared. So by the time
we can monitor the results in real time on your website.
Exactly. But for the polling station one, because of the numbers involved and because they are hard copies that you need to scan the rest, we will not be able to upload all of them. But the polling station results reflect in the constituency one. So once you get the constituency, you have that. Then within the 21 days that you can file the petition, we would have also uploaded the 41,000 polling station results there. So that if you need them for your petition, you can also have them. So we are going a step for that to increase the transparency.
Is that a plan to fix the gap of inconsistencies in the numbers? Because, I mean, even before we talk about the numbers, during the primaries, I was out there myself and I saw that there was a delay in the registration process or something because they were waiting for a link. And everything we've spoken about so far is like all things being equal. But what is the plan in case of delays? And
you were there at where?
Yes, I was at Anya Soto Moso, and they hadn't, say again? Yes, the primaries. And
primaries?
Yes, primaries. Yes.
Oh, what link are you talking about?
Let me explain. So, as at 10 a.m., the people hadn't started printing the cards for the new voters also. And because they said they were waiting for a link. Yes.
Primaries for political parties, though.
Okay, not primaries then. After the district level elections, what's the other election that's...
That's the general election that we are going.
No. Then I think it's the district level elections. There was a delay. I was there. It's just the details are lost on me because it's been a while ago.
The problem was with respect to the BVD.
Yes.
Activation code that I was talking about.
Activation
code.
So
if you don't get activation code, you cannot use the BVD.
So what I'm saying is that everything you've said so far is the plan.
Yes.
For all things being equal.
Yes.
What is the contingency plan for in case of delays, in case...
Because of the suspicion, that's why we need to give them activation code on the day of election. So that it will not be like somebody has been using the machine. Right? So when you are given the activation code, just through a text message or whatever. So this time around, I will not put what we are planning to do to the purpose. So maybe somebody will also go and find me. But we will try and activate them early enough so that we can have the process. But these are all security measures that are put in place. Because if you don't use the activation code, it means that like somebody who has stolen the BVD can be using it to do whatever he wanted to do. So we will still use the activation code, but we know we have to go around this side to not delay and they can.
We're just about wrapping up, but so what are the mechanisms in place to address disputes, to handle potential security issues and all that?
Security issues are, we have the Election Security Task Force headed by the IGP. So they will be able to explain the security because the Commission is not in charge of security. The law has handed over security of the elections to them. Ours is to do the election administration. And when it comes to our work from what I've taken you through, as for you, the media, you are part of the processes. But the difficulty is that at times, because of being insulted and the rest, even when you know the facts, you don't want to put them...
That doesn't apply to us here at Joy.
Oh.
we are fearless.
Because I remember in 2020, I was with I don't know what I say, Israeli. At a point in time, he even asked them, it seems like you have not eaten. He went and bought me lunch. Oh. He was in my office too at the process. So I remember at the point in time, they were saying that even the results was declared somewhere, and he came out and said that no, he was there when the results are clear. So that is the transparency aspect I'm talking about.
Let me stay on that a bit, the declaration of results. And sometimes it delays, which creates a lot of tension, unnecessary tension. What is the plan here too?
We should hasten slowly. If you are not sure of the figures, we will not put it forward. So depending, and we are taking results from all over the country, including the Draft Island, whatever. In 2020, we were fortunate for the high effort to lifted our people there and back. So they were one of the first constituencies to be, because this year I heard they were also happy. But every nick and corner of this country, we are going there. And we need the result from all those. So once something happens small, you have to wait for it. But the 2020, we did it before 48 hours.
And you have enough personnel to handle all these without any issues?
So we have 41 times multiplied by 5. That gives you the number of people who go to the field. Okay. And that's more than 200,000. We will train them and...
when does the training start and end?
No, we'll finish with the exhibition, we'll finish with the nomination, then we'll start with the training of them. So somewhere maybe in October.
October.
This time, I can assure you that not less than 2 months to election will be ready.
Okay. I mean, you have to be careful giving us dates because we'll hold you to it. And we've seen that sometimes it's not, I
have not given specific, I said at least.
Sometime in November, no problem,
yes.
That's okay. And we're about wrapping up. What would be your final words and message to our audience ahead of this
What I would say is that the commission, as usual, will do what is required of them professionally to ensure that the election is fair. But we should also understand that no matter what, somebody will win the election and others will also lose. Assuming we have 10 candidates, it's only one candidate that can win. And once the person wins fairly and freely, we move ahead and accept and prepare ourselves to that. But the youth, if anybody will want to be mischievous, cause violence, whatever, it is the youth that to be youth. And when you are youth and you get into conflict with the law will handle you, and you may not see the person who pushed you to go and do what is wrong. So
and they say ignorance is no excuse, right?
Exactly. So
now that we have, sorry, let me
brains.
interject. Now, because we are talking about youth, now that you are saying that you will be prosecuted if you commit a crime, you'll be penalized. Are you using the youth are more technologically savvy? They are always on social media. Are you exploiting this means to ensure that they are abreast of the electoral processes and what do's and don'ts? Come December 2024, especially because we have nearly 1 million of these new voters.
For the last 3 days ago and yesterday, Dubawa fact check was doing something, and it was for first-time voters, and I participated. So we took them through, myself, NCC, and others. We took them through all these things. So they should be listening. The issue is that after crime, you don't need to be informed that this is not crime. Don't go and do it. Go and beat somebody. You don't need to come and tell them, don't go and fight. But nobody should use a strand of the hair because of this election. It doesn't pay. It's not worth of. That's my advice to everybody.
Dr. Serebour Quaicoe, the head of training department at the Electoral Commission, thank you so much for shedding light on the electoral processes, your preparations, and all things important on the AM show.
You are one of the people who get my name right.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I'm glad for that.
I will give you much.
I will follow you for it. Right, so right before we go, get ready for the Pastors Kids Conference 2024, the Legacy Edition. Are you a child of a pastor, preacher, or a Christian minister? You are not alone. Join other pastors from all denominations for the Pastors Kids Conference 2024 under the theme Legacy. The host is Apostle Francis Ajinasari, and this event is coming off on the 24th of August 2024. It's happening at the Perez Dome at the Jolu Junction right here in Accra, and it starts at 9 a.m. prompt. There will be song ministration by Kofi Owusu-Pepra, Enyunyam, Mrs. Elijah Nasari, PKC Choir, and others. And it is absolutely free. You want to take advantage of that. And it will be an exciting time for networking, music, learning, and empowerment. Registration for further inquiries, you can simply call or WhatsApp them on 0550-068-632. Remember, it is absolutely free. This is the Pastors Kids Conference 2024, the Legacy Edition. Hopefully, you'll see you soon. There's still more coming your way on the AM show. You don't want to go away. We'll be right back.